With my almost over 3 year experience with muscle building journey, I think weighted calisthenics especially is superior to just normal weightlifting. And let me explain why. Now, I'm not saying that you should just only do weighted calisthenics and completely ditch out the weightlifting if you do so at the gym. But it's good to implement weighted calisthenics because nobody does it, especially these times when it's so popular to use the machines like very stable because you will build the most muscle and all that bullshit. Like, yes, it will be more stable. You will be able to generate basically more power in the specific area, but it's not going to make you strong. It's not going to make you functional. And additionally, you will not build the quality muscle that will carry over to other exercises. So in today's video, we are going to cover that. I will tell you exactly which exercises to do, which way, and now you will be weighted calisthenics supremacist. So let's get into it. What exercise should we do as weighted calisthenic athletes? There are three basic principles, three basic and fundamental exercises that are in the weighted calisthenics or street lifting, whatever you might want to call it. And these are dips, pull-ups, and its variations like chin-ups, neutral grip pull-ups, ring pull-ups. Whatever you want to do is actually good, but it's slightly different variations that work different kind of areas of your back, of your biceps, forearms. They are slightly different, but in all forms kind of similar. And weighted push-ups. With weighted push-ups it's very complicated, but I will tell you the best way to do it. Now, you build muscle with these three. I know there are more exercises like Australian rows, like muscle ups, like handstands and planche, and all the cool skills that you see on the internet of people doing. Yes, these look very cool, but let me tell you something. These are skills. Skills are just to show off. You don't build any real muscle from it. Trust me, because I've been doing this. I can do a handstand, I can do a muscle up. You don't gain muscle from it. Why not? Because you are not progressively overloading. You don't get stronger, you just achieve it, you know? Yes, you can hold it for more time, like for example planche or like front lever. Yes, you can hold it for more time, but it does not mean that you will get more muscle from it, because it's like you would, I don't know, hold the bench like this. Yes, you might get stronger in this position, and if you're a very beginner, yes, you might build some muscle from it, but over time you will not. It's just not super reliable exercise. Yes, you might do it additionally to your basically strength routine. Strength routine is where you build muscle, because there you get stronger. There you get more power. Then you need to focus to actually perform this exercise, which we'll talk about later how to do it. But just don't do skills if your goal is to build muscle. They are also very taxing on your joints. They require very good form. They require a long time of learning. It's better to firstly learn the basics like dips, pull-ups and push-ups, because they will give you this base of strength, of muscle, everything we want, and then you can move on to skills after you get bored of the basic compound movements. Because why these three? These three build a lot of muscles in your body. That's why it's called compound movement, because you are working a lot of muscles at the same time. It means that you can push a lot of weight if you do it over time. Yes, you would not be able to just perform some exercise with your biceps only because it's too weak. That's why you use your back, you use kind of like the back part of your shoulders to perform the exercise. So yes, we know which exercises to do. Now, if you're a beginner, if you're a complete beginner, if you're just starting with the journey of building muscle, if you want to do it, great. You'll need to learn these exercises body weight. Body weight means that you don't attach any weight. You don't give yourself more resistance. You don't carry a backpack with you or some heavy shoes. No. You just do and try to perform exercises with good form, body weight. Why is it important? Because you need to learn a good technique. Too many people just skip and think, okay, I will do it and I don't need to learn the body weight, and they try to do with weights because it's so cool, because their ego is so low that they need to prove that they are very strong. No, keep your ego down. Learn how to do the exercise correctly with good technique, because then you will work the actual muscles, especially with the pushing movements, you know, because with pull-ups it's like you cannot do anything super wrong, but with dips and with push-ups you can fuck up a lot and you can injure yourself very seriously. So it's like very high ROI, which stands for return on investment, but it's also high risk, high reward, you know. So you need to focus on performing good form. With pull-ups, as I said, it's quite easy. I don't think you'll need to learn it, but it's good to check out some videos on YouTube, on the internet, of some good people doing it. So right now, if you're a beginner, before your next training, check out just 1 or 2 videos how to perform the exercise that you want. If it's too hard for you, then just learn the negatives. Negative is like basically when let's say you're doing a pull-up. It's a demonstration. There is a bar, right? You jump from a box or some elevated area just so your chin is above the bar, and you try as hard as possible to lower yourself very slowly. I know it will be hard, you will not be able to hang for very long, but it will teach you the right curve of movement. That's when your muscles will be activated, and after a few trainings you will have strength to do 1 pull-up. Great. It may be with a bit shit form, good. For now, you know how to do it. That's how you do it with all exercises in weighted calisthenics. Firstly, learn them, then do them slowly. Once you can do them body weight, you can do 1, 2 reps. You just try to increase the weight. You just try to do it more and more and more. Great. If we are past the beginner stage, then we go to some serious shit, because that's where muscle building journey starts. Because the first one is just to get your body used to these exercises, because they are very demanding. If you can do pull-ups or dips or push-ups, great, you are ahead of most of society. But we will not be competing with masses. We will compete with serious athletes, you know. We are going to add weight to exercises that people cannot do body weight. So it's very good. You will get a lot of actual and very functional muscle that will carry over to literally a lot of things. Very helpful. So, firstly, structure and setting goals, basically. We got the 3 exercises that will give us the most muscle of the upper body. Now, we need to focus what we want to achieve with it. If you want to get more muscle, if you want to build an aesthetic physique, and you can do it with weighted calisthenics, just with the hybrid. Now, for people training at home maybe, or just training outside, okay, you need to find a way to progressively overload. That means you need to find a way to attach some weight to your body. After you, let's say, can complete with dips, You can do like 10, 15 dips in a row with good form on the bars or maybe rings, which we'll talk about later, because it's such a great thing that you can add on to. Then you add, let's say, 2.5 kilograms of some weight, and you can do it with the belt. Belt is like a thing you attach around your waist. It has most of the time like chain or like a big, like I have it with myself. Just wait. It's like, looks like this. It's some brand. You attach this thing around your waist, and this like chain is for you to attach an additional weight. So you do it with plates, let's say plates of weight, and you add 2.5, maybe if you feel stronger you add 5 kilograms. The very important thing is just don't attach too much weight, because you're not strong enough for this. You need to learn, and after some time you add more weight. It's just very basic. So find a belt, buy it on the internet. It's a great investment. I know you don't want to spend money, and you thought, oh, calisthenics is just body weight. Okay, normal calisthenics, it's good, but in the longer run it's basically for endurance, more for endurance. If you want to build muscle, you need to stimulate it, you need to put stress on it, and you need to progressively overload. So give it more weight, more resistance over time. You do it by adding weight, especially in calisthenics. And so you need to find a way to add more weight. When I was working abroad, I didn't have a belt, I had rings only. I had some calisthenics park that had like some bars. It was not very good equipped, but whatever, I needed to train. I had rings only, I had my backpack. I was stealing some glass water bottles from my work, and like 4 of them weighed like 5 kilograms completely. So over time I added just one water bottle, another one. That's how I used to progressively overload. It's not super reliable because your backpack has a limit. So with the belt and plates it would be easier. That's why if you have access to gym, you are in perfect condition, because then you can do a hybrid. That's what I call it, a hybrid of calisthenics and weightlifting, basically, because then you get the best of 2 worlds, you know. You don't just only do calisthenics, and you don't only just do weightlifting. It's like you are, I don't fucking know what it's called, but it's great. And setting goals, structure. How do you structure your training around this? You need to have some plan, you know. You either have, if you have been going to the gym, you know you have a plan. Now switch up exercises that you have like very similar movements, you know. If you, for example, on Monday had been doing like bench press for your chest, right? If you have been doing this on your, let's say it's an upper day or a push day, now you replace this with dips or push-ups, whatever you want to do it with it, and just switch it over to this. Because like I haven't done bench press in a long time, like for, I don't know, maybe 2 years, you know. I've been doing only like dips, push-ups on rings with weight, and like, yes, incline bench, but with dumbbells, so it's like better for me. Flat bench I've ditched completely because it's like not activating my chest properly, and I want to build the upper region more than like the mass that everybody does, and it just gives shitty results, you know. And trust me, incline bench is like superior to normal bench, because it will give you this mass, this shelf. in your chest. So, structure. Now, you go intensely. Intensity is like your best friend with weighted calisthenics if you want to build muscle. So you go with every single set that you do, you go to failure. That means you cannot complete any more rep more. If you have done 8 reps and you're squeezing your teeth so much and you do weird faces on dips, let's say, and you cannot do any single no more, you just are at the lower bottom position. You cannot squeeze out any more. That's when you achieve failure. That's where you start to build muscle. Now, this technique is going to failure, going intensely, is very demanding. So you cannot just spam a lot of sets like people think that it's more equals better gains or some bullshit. No, it does not work like that. So you need to do either 2 or 3 sets maximum to get the most out of the exercise, because doing more will just fuck up your fatigue. Go watch my previous video on recovery to know how to recover properly from the muscle building journey. And you just need this. Switch out the exercises that are very similar. So if you have lat pull down, then you switch it for pull-ups. If you have some other day that you train and you have kind of different exercise for chest, then you do push-ups. Now, very great thing, before I say something, very great thing in weighted calisthenics that you should buy, and I highly advise you to do it. It will dramatically change your view on building muscle with calisthenics, are rings. Yes, the rings that have like this one circle with some tapes and you can attach it to somewhere. Rings will allow you for a crazy unhuman range of motion that, as we all know, when you go stretched, so if you stretch your muscle, in the stretch position of the muscle, you activate the most hypertrophy. Hypertrophy means just basically in the simple terms, stimulating the muscle to grow, breaking it down. Rings allow you for this natural path and range of motion that you don't harm your wrists, your elbows and your shoulders, because it's a natural path. You go very deeply. No other exercise, like form of exercise, allow you for that kind of stretch. And additionally, it gives you the stability requirements. That means that you need to also control for the rings to stop shaking. You have probably tried it once in the gym when you try to just hang on to the rings that were just hanging freely. It was hard because your muscles and your joints stabilizers were not used to this kind of resistance, to this kind of training, exercise. That's why it's very good and very, very healthy for your shoulders to perform exercises on the rings, but you activate more motor units. Motor units are used in every single exercise that you do, and it basically sends strength from your body to your muscles to perform at the high level, It sends more units because you now have stability issues. You need to take care of it, take care of the strength and doing the exercise properly. And it just gives you so much tension that you build a fuck ton of muscle, and it's very good, very reliable. So buy rings, then you will perform dips on the rings and push-ups. Let me tell you something, push-ups on rings, weighted, and maybe even on an incline, so your feet are here, your body kind of goes like here, rings are here, and you perform push-ups. Bro, it's the best, one of the best exercises for your upper chest, for your chest overall in the world, trust me. But it's kind of harder because you need to add some weight to it over time. So you need to find a way yourself. But it's such a great exercise. You get the squeeze, you get the stretch, you get everything that you need to build muscle. You can pause at the bottom, you can do it slowly, you need to stabilize it. It's such a great exercise. It will be very, very, very good if you start the weighted calisthenics like this. So buy yourself, firstly, weighted belt, secondly, the rings. Bro, you can find something in Amazon for like 30 bucks or some bullshit with the weight, like with the weighted belt. Like you can find some very cheap on Amazon. Also, you can find it in your gym. I just bought some like brand one some time ago because I just loved calisthenics. I wanted to have the higher quality one, and I really recommend this one if you want to elevate your journey, if you know what I mean. Now, I have a community in the description right there, when I have all like training methods written with calisthenics, with the hybrid of calisthenics, that you will just have everything just laid down exactly what you need to follow. So it will be very easy for you to follow it. Now, I'm not saying that the journey will be easy. I'm saying that you will have at least a plan that you can follow, that I've made a lot of mistakes creating with when I started this journey, you know? So like I made a lot of mistakes, then I know what's working because, okay, this worked, but it didn't. So I throw the shit that didn't work and left only the ones that are working. And trust me, it's working like fucking hell. So check out the link. Everything is written down, from diet, from sleep recovery. Everything is like pure knowledge of mine, not only shit that I read. Check it out. It will be very beneficial for you to just join and see for yourself. It's an investment if you want to. Now, going back, as I've said, intensity is your best friend. Without intensity, even in the weightlifting, you will not build muscle. But I preach it always because people forget it a lot of times. I see people working in the gym and they work out like pussies. Almost nobody does sets to failure. Almost nobody goes even beyond failure, which we are going to talk about now. What is going beyond failure? There is the technique that I call double failure method. So if you know, failure is like you do an exercise and you perform it, let's say, till you cannot do it no more. So it's like my 10th rep of pull-ups and I just couldn't lift myself, and it's 11 and I cannot go with my chin over the bar. So I cannot complete the rep. And I struggle really much to go even higher, but I cannot. That's where I achieve failure. Now, going beyond failure and doing the double failure method is when you stop the exercise like you would normally, but let's say you have either weight or you don't, whatever, you just wait from 5 to 10 seconds. You breathe in very deeply because you are fucking tired, because it was so exhausting. You wait 5 to 10 seconds. When you're ready, you start and try to do as many reps as possible. And now, disclaimer, you might do 1 or maybe 3 reps more because you will be so exhausted from like the set you have done like 10 seconds ago. Good. That's where double failure comes, because as we all know, we build muscle not in like first rep of the exercise, in the last reps, last 2 or 3 reps, when you achieve failure. So your muscle starts to basically tell you that, oh, it's not possible for me to do it, you know. You achieve it twice when you do the double failure method. So you get twice the basically affect the growth hormone that you release from the muscle. It's very good. It's super good, especially for natural lifters, because it's a double intensity, basically. You double the failure. So in one set, you have achieved failure twice. You are ahead of most people. Firstly, by doing to failure, you are ahead of most people by But by doing it twice in one set, bro, you are just in the fucking race mode. That's where you build a shit ton of muscle. But disclaimer, it's very intensive. I would advise you to do it after you only learn a good technique, so to not injure yourself, and if you have some more experience. But if you are crazy like me, if you are young like me, and you know, okay, I can do the exercise well, I can do it, but I've never thought of double failure method. Bro, just do it, give it a try, and tell me what you think of it. It will give you very good results, because you force the muscle to grow. Because when you put such a high stress on it by this technique, this intensity technique, it's like telling it, you either grow or I will fucking kill you, you know? It's that serious. So it allows you for proper breakdown of the muscle, but then you need to recover it well. So you cannot just slam it every day and think that you will grow a lot. No, you need to recover, because it's very intensive, it's very fatiguing. So you need to have your recovery or on high point. That's why I advise this technique to more advanced, like guys, basically athletes, you know. So if you've got some experience, if you know how to recover properly, which I also, again, have talked about in my previous video, you will exactly know how to recover from such types of trainings. Now, the double failure method is very good. And now, with muscle building journey, I think it's like the best thing you can do with calisthenics is, bro, just sign up to the gym. I know parks and like training at home is cool because you don't need to pay for it. I also did it when I was starting my journey, but signing up to the gym gives you a good environment, because you are not like basically restricted by the weather, because the bars might be cold and you do less reps, your form is shittier because it's like very cold, maybe it's raining, maybe it's very dark and you're tired, maybe it's taken by, I don't know, some fucking groups of guys. I don't care. Buy a membership in the gym. That's where you will have all the equipment, all the bars that you need to perform exercises. And very important thing, you've got only 3 exercises of the weighted calisthenics. What I have been talking about through the whole video is hybrid of weighted calisthenics and weightlifting. If you combine these two, it's like you've got, as I've said previously, you've got the best of the 2 worlds. So you perform at the maximum level. You get some of this and some of this. Very good thing to do is to isolate the muscle. You know what are isolations? It's like compound movement is when you do, for example, dips. Dips are very good for the chest, shoulders, triceps, and some stabilizer muscles. Now, if you want to isolate some muscles, you do isolations for, I don't know, your triceps, you know, you do some extensions for your triceps. That's when you only do one muscle to get it stronger over time, of course, and to make it bigger, okay? You understand this, but it's harder, a lot harder to progressively overload it, because it's like small muscle, it's only muscle that you work, and it's very hard to overload, but it's good if you want to strengthen this area, and it's very important that you strengthen this area, because like compound movements hit it, but not all muscles, like for example your lateral delts, which are very, very aesthetic muscle group that you should always prioritize, as I've said in my also previous videos, so watch them if you want to know how to build the aesthetic physique. I tell you everything about it. Just watch them all. Sorry. So go and do some exercises with dumbbells on the cable machines. Bro, there are a lot of exercises that you can isolate your muscles in your back, your neck, your traps. Everything that needs to be worked will be worked. Don't neglect any areas. Bro, just perform it at the gym. You can isolate everything very well with sticking, like compound movements. You can mix them. You can do some calisthenics exercises like this, dips, pull-ups, push-ups,